have to wait for Johnny. Maybe we better go out and get him. We have to go out and get Johnny. He's out there. Please, don't you hear me? We've got to go out and get him. Please! We have got to go get Johnny! Please help me! Please!
Look, don't you know what's going on out there? This is no Sunday school picnic.
Don't you understand? My brother is alone!
Your brother is dead.
No! My brother is not dead! Oh. Oh.
Hello, everyone. My name is Hardcora.
And I'm Conchita.
Barbecue? Barbecue? Can you hear us? Barbecue,
Hello?
are you there?
Hello, barbecue.
Barbecue? And we are the B-Girls, and we are QuaranQueened. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Week 7 of QuaranQueened. Thank you so much for tuning in on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. Please, if you can, share the link now. It helps us raise awareness and get some sponsors to the show. Joining me tonight is, of course, Conchita. Conchita, now, before we get started tonight, I asked you to arrange a call time with Barbecue. Did you not arrange anything?
I sent her an email. I didn't hear anything back, and then I called her multiple times and left messages, but I did not get any response. So I don't know where she is.
Well, I think last week she was maybe thinking of visiting her Aunt Fruella in upstate New York and staying with her. Do you think she left already?
That's probably it. She said she had to get her suitcase first from Johnny Gallardo. So she probably went to pick that up and then went immediately to the border or something like that. And probably on her way.
But wait, aren't the borders still closed at the moment?
Well, they are. But Barbecue is what you call an old stock Canadian. So she probably knows how to pull a Laura Secord. And that's when you cross the border through the woods, wearing a bonnet, a flannel dress, and carrying a wicker basket full of chocolates.
Oh.
See, I learned about Laura Secord and her cross-border espionage when I was studying for my Canadian citizenship exam. So maybe Barbecue pulled a Laura Secord.
Well, I hope she contacts us soon, because right now she is definitely MIA.
Yeah.
Okay, how goes your quarantine, Conchita?
My quarantine's been great. I really have no complaints. I mean, I did get laid off my job, but, I've been enjoying some free time. And that's been, the weather is improving. On Friday, I went for a beautiful run. And it was like 2 p.m. It was actually chillier than I thought was forecast. So I kind of suited up a little bit. Then I went down to the waterfront to an undisclosed location. And I went for a run. And 8K in, the sun was out. And there was really no wind. And it was so warm. No, not even warm. It was hot. So I found, and it was all secluded there. So I found a nice secluded spot. And I got a little bit of sun. I just took everything off and got a little bit of sun. And it was a beautiful, beautiful day. It was my first sun tanning day, really. I mean, mid-run. Who does that?
Wow. So that was that reflection that I saw in the sky, you running with your shirt off.
That was
your
the
white
big
skin.
White moon. The big white moon. That was me. That was my buttocks is doing that. And then also today I got up really early because my secluded location is actually not so secluded on the weekends and people go down there. So I went up really early and went for a beautiful run and it was glorious, glorious, glorious. Other than that, so there's been that. And then I've been working on little projects, trying my hand at some cartoons and short comedy segments. So you're going to see them here at the show. And please,
I haven't seen them yet. I'm so excited to see them.
Okay. Sight unseen. I hope they don't offend.
I'm sure they'll offend someone. It's the internet.
Well, yes, why not? And how's your quarantine, Cora? How are you enjoying it?
Well, I am loving the quarantine. In fact, if you are liking the quarantine and you are listening right now, just say something below in the comments that you like it or not, or maybe you don't. But I'm enjoying this time. I think it's just kind of a gift in a weird way. And today, it was a beautiful day. I thought, I haven't gone out. I haven't gone except to walk the dog. So I decided that I would go on a bike ride. And so I got all ready, got on the bike, and I thought, I'm going to go down to... Do you know where the DVP trail is there? So I went down there.
The very narrow trail that everyone's on the
narrow
weekend.
trail. I didn't know it was that... I don't remember it being that narrow. But
It's narrow.
if I didn't have COVID-19 previous to this, I do have it now. Because there are so many people down there. Everybody is walking, running, biking, children, adults, old people, you name it. It's not a good scene. Like, I think they really need to...
You could make a COVID-19 video game based on your experience. I mean, and some people have no clue.
No.
You're standing back, leaving people room, and they come walking right at you. And you go, excuse me, what's your strategy for keeping 2 meters distance? Because I had a strategy. It was hanging back.
Yeah. No, and people are...
No.
This is how stupid people are. So, like to get up, to get on and off it, you have to climb up these big stairs to go onto Queen Street East or wherever there's all these exits, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm ready to leave now. And then there's this mass of people just standing there, tight in together. They're not social distancing, waiting for like one person to walk down the stairs. And it's like, this is not good. I just, we're all in this now together. Just run the hell out of here as fast as you can, So I won't be doing that again. And what I found after I got onto Queen Street East, I biked down Queen Street East. There were no cars. There were no people. Yeah. It was a great bike ride. So I've
got the same thing happening here. Bloor Street, from reports, because I don't go there, is all empty. But my neighborhood, everyone's coming up from Bloor, and everyone's doing their social distancing walk in my neighborhood. So there's everyone with a dog within like 10 kilometers of where I live is always walking through here. It's a little crazy. I can't even run in my neighborhood. I've got to take my car down. But Cora, top tip. Weekends, go early, and that'll be thinned out. Okay. And during the weekdays, mostly anytime, but not after working hours. So if you go take some time in the morning, that's great. Afternoon, it's still probably going to be okay. But you just hit peak bad situation today. Sunday afternoon, my God, everyone's trying to go out.
Yeah, I won't be doing that ever again. All right. Well, coming up now later on in the show, we have the wonderful Sharron Matthews, star of cabaret, TV, and stage. And coming to the QuaranQueened stage, we have Crystal Visions, a performance where she is going to sing live for all of you. So we've got that coming up later on in the show. And Sous is returning with some quarantine tips.
And remember, we love audience participation. So please type your comments and questions in the comment section below, and we'll try our best to respond. And we've got a lot of people joining us here. Let's just do a little shout out. Kay Lavery, hello, darling. Always great to see you. Jamie Slater, oh, good. Tuning in. Oh, Lara, hi. Oh, Chris Cecile, walk the dog. Yes. Oh, and Eva Katz, hello. Oh, friend of Jamie's. Oh, Stephen Belcourt, hello. Went for a walk. Oh, yes. Well, yes, Stephen, we'll get to that too. Chris Cecile, oh, yes. Oh, Chris is asking, where's our little pink friend? Well, yeah, okay, what's Stephen saying? He's going, went for a walk to go around a couple who took the whole sidewalk. Yes, couples are the worst. I had to step in the street. Yes, always have to. Yeah. Then Fedora Cyclist came up from behind. Yes, nobody saying, passing. That's what I do when I run. I give people notice. Passing.
I use the bell on my bike. Ding, 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 ding.
That works.
Alert.
But when I run, I don't have a bell.
Yeah.
So the Foodora came behind Stephen, 1 foot from his face, telling me to get off the street. Well, there you go. You know, everyone's under stress because everyone's trying to do the right thing, but my idea of the right thing is different than your idea of the right thing, is different from the Foodora's guy idea of the right thing.
Mm-hmm. But some good news, Conchita. Last week, we had Kingswood as a sponsor. And this week, last week it was for insurance. This week, they are back. But they also have another agency that will be advertising with us today.
Kingswood seems to have a lot of subsidiaries. So they have that insurance company, and now this is a different subsidiary, is what you're saying? So
yes.
I love introducing sponsors, so I'll say, and now a word from our sponsor.
Are you trying to trace a lost friend, relative, or someone who owes you money? Do you suspect that your spouse or partner is not being faithful? Or do you simply wish to have someone checked out? Here at the Kingswood Agency, we have private, discreet investigators that can help you. He's here.
This is Zazos. We are entering stage 8 of our plans. Your continued compliance and support for our mission is critical. X-Day preparations are in development. Your part is essential. People will be talking about X-Day for years to come. We may even have a barbecue. Praise me.
And we always ensure that you're in possession of the facts. So call now, 1-888-555-3131. Private investigators are ready to help you now. Praise Azaz.
And thank you, Kingswood.
Oh, yes. Oh, well, I just checked out the last little moment of that, but I'm sure they're great. And I'm sure they'll help a lot of people out, you know?
Well, I don't know if you know this, but they are using the Grande Dame of the Canadian stage, Karen MacDonald, on these ads.
Oh, she's great, isn't she? I love Karen MacDonald. I mean,
I loved her.
Yes,
as
she
a
was
child.
in the 80s. She was in the 80s in like Street Cops on CBC.
Street Cops.
But she's
that was,
also
oh my God. A detective with a heart of gold.
Oh, it's District
It was
Attorney
so good.
with a heart of gold.
Oh, it was
yes.
she was a district attorney. That's right.
Yes, but she also is really known for her work at the Stratford Festival. But I'm just saying, I heard from my friend Nancy Pepperoncini, who used to work at Stratford Festival Marketplace Shopping Center, that she might be a grande dame, but she's also a really big tool.
Oh, Conchita, that was a cheap shot. Speaking of which, it's time for Cheap Shots. In American news, Florida deputies arrested a man who had been living out his quarantine on a shuttered Disney World island, telling authorities it felt like a tropical paradise.
The 42-year-old said he didn't hear numerous deputies searching the private island for him on foot, by boat, and by air because he was asleep in a building.
A Disney spokesperson said, We woke him up by getting a handsome prince to kiss him, and when he awoke, we then fed him a poisoned apple. When unconscious, we had dwarves drag his incapacitated body to the outside world.
He is now in hospital after contracting coronavirus from Sneezy.
Kim Jong-un is back. After weeks of speculation as to his health and whereabouts, North Korean state media this week shared this photo of Kim.
The photos show Kim Jong-un laughing, smiling, smoking, and waving to crowds while attending a ribbon-cutting ceremony at the Suncheon Phosphatic Fertilizer Factory.
Said a North Korean spokesperson, "Our dear leader was in no way ill during this time, and he did not undergo surgery, as had been suggested by Western media. He was indeed just very, very lazy for the last 3 weeks." Frumpy Canadian women's retailer Reitmans warned this week that their business could fail if they can't secure financing for their ongoing expenses.
The federal government was quick to offer support, saying, "Why not sign up for our high-interest rate retail credit facility? Not only can you buy now and pay later, but you get the privilege of paying our exorbitant 27% per annum interest rate. On approved credit conditions apply, missed payments subject to penalties."
And finally in the news today, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson and fiancée Carrie Symonds have just announced the name of their newborn son.
Johnson stated his son is being named after a doctor who saved his life while he was in intensive care last month while battling COVID-19.
The bouncing baby's boy's official name on his birth certificate is now, "Hey you, over there, Johnson." And that's Cheap Shots.
Oh, I love cheap shots. Always so much fun, right, Cora?
They're both cheap and they're shots. Speaking of which...
Speaking of shots, cheers.
Cheers.
Everyone out there. Oh, yes, cheers.
Oh.
Oh, a 3D house of beer.
3D House of Laker Ice.
Oh, I've got a Heineken. Oh, it's blurring it. It's automatically,
Focusing.
It knows I shouldn't be showing the logo.
I know. Facebook is going to take this down.
Frick, yeah. Okay, yeah. Well, it's time for our very good short format friend. Please put your hands together for a new original segment here on B-Girls QuaranQueened. Welcome, Judith. She's got her act together and she's doing it right. She's Judith.
Oh, yeah. It just gets sloppy sometimes out of the bar. Men can be really quite pigs. And sometimes they'll just say things. Men, sometimes they'll just say things to you. And it just gets every last bone in my body roiling. My bones are roiling. Sometimes I'll have to push back and I'll say, "No, you can shove your own up your cummy hole." She's got her act together and she's doing it right. She's Judith.
Wow.
Oh, wow. So, Judith, let
She's
us know.
a lot.
She's your extra friend. Yes. Let us know what you think of Judith in the comments if you'd like further business with Judith, because we've got another Judith segment later on in the show, so please stay tuned. She's one of those friends that always has something going on.
It's really about Judith, I think. And I love the jingle.
Well, it says what it is, right? She's got her act together and she's doing it right.
All right, everybody. Get your questions ready because it's time for Dr. Conchita.
Welcome to How Do You Solve a Problem Like Conchita? And you know what? We're changing the format a little and we're just doing one question. Yes, question of the week. And we're going to be quick about it. So our question this week comes from an early bird named Gerald who says, "Conchita and the B-Girls, are UFOs real?" Cora, I'm going to ask you, do you believe in UFOs? Have you ever seen UFOs? Have you ever been abducted by a UFO? Have you ever woken up with those telltale signs that you have been abducted?
Well, I have woken up with a sore butt in the past, but I don't think that was due to an abduction. I believe, I want to believe, I believe that I have seen 3 UFOs in my life. One, when I was a child, and I remember this, like I recall it in black and white. I was in the garden with my baba. I remember hearing something on the TV that people were going to the moon or space or something, but I remember looking up and there was a cigar-shaped thing floating in the air. And as a young child, I thought, oh, that must be the astronauts going to the moon. I then saw another UFO at the cottage across the bay in the distance, and it was during the day, and it was the shiny thing that was in the distance. Then I once saw in the backyard here in Toronto this round orb that was in the air, and it was doing like going everywhere. And, you know, like it would go this way, then it would go this way, and then it would turn and go down. And then I recorded it. I should have thought of this earlier. Okay, next week, I'm going to show that clip because
we're going to follow up. We're going to follow up with that. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, it's.
I always wished to be able to see something like that. I don't think I have.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it sounds really exciting. Yeah, it's really interesting topic. And you know, this week, the reason I think why Gerald is asking is because this week there was a important information released. Did you know about this? Do you know what happened? What was released this week, Cora?
No, I don't. What is?
It is the Pentagon. They released some heretofore unofficially released footage. Unofficially, it was released and people talked about it, but they weren't sure if it was faked. You know, footage of UFOs that fighter pilots have seen. These are phenomena that fighter pilots have seen flying around, and they've been really, really surprised by it.
And the U.S. government released this?
They did, because they were sued with the Freedom of Information Act. And you know who sued them? Very strangely. No. It is the lead singer of Blink-182, who's a big UFO freak. Yes. He had originally released the footage and then had sued the U.S. government for official release. They examined the footage and they went, this does not reveal any secrets that we have. It does not reveal any secret capabilities that we have to look at things because it's just fighter pilot radar footage. And they decided they were going to release it. And they also said they don't know what's going on in the footage. And I have here queued up. I've got the footage right here, and I'm going to let everyone take a look. And take a look.
The whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. Look at that thing, dude. That's not our LNS though, is it? It's not. That is the LNS, dude. Well, if there's like... Look at that thing! It's rotating. Nickel 6-1 Tango Roger, over. Oh, got it! Woohoo! Roger, there's troubleshooting. Did you box moving target? No, I took an auto track. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, dude. Wow, look at that, man. Look at it fly!
They're here.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I find the first two very compelling, where you hear these jet fighters talking. The first one, you know, if it's any aircraft that we know of today, the really interesting thing is it's flying at a certain rate, and he's going, look at that thing go. It's going against the wind at 120 knots. I don't know how windy 120 knots is, but that sounds like windy.
It's pretty windy.
So it's
I
going
think.
against the wind, and it's like the honey badger. It is just doesn't give a fuck. It keeps going. So it is going and going and going. And then the weirdest thing, it rotates. This is something that any aircraft that we know of would never do. Imagine a plane. It's going in a certain thing, and all of a sudden, because you think there's propulsion coming out this end, then all of a sudden, imagine it rotates and keeps going the same direction. What is that? That's what he goes. It just rotated. Like, what is the propulsion system on this?
That is amazing.
That's
amazing.
crazy.
And of course, of course, it has to be some sort of alien technology. Like, we cannot be the only things in the somewhat intelligent. We're not that intelligent. Somewhat intelligent creatures in this universe.
I know. Who knows? Maybe they come from Alpha Centauri. Maybe they have a leader that is going to take over the world at some point. We don't know.
Huh.
We don't know if they're abducting people as we speak in order to help with the takeover plans. It's all possible, Cora. But I found it very, very interesting. And even the second one, where it looked like it was skimming across the water, and they're trying to latch onto it, and then his auto trace grabbed it, and he goes, "Look at the thing fly!" Meaning, what goes that quickly? Like that, it was just whizzing, just above the water. Like it's not a bird. It's not a normal aircraft.
Plane. Maybe it's Superman. I don't know.
See. You know what? If you're going to open up possibilities for anything, it could also be Superman. You never know.
Well,
Superman.
Anita in our chat is saying UFOs, a distraction from the pandemic, right?
You know what? Anything that gives us hope that maybe the aliens are bringing us a vaccine would be nice. Or maybe they, maybe they, but when was the last time?
Maybe they've infected us with COVID-19.
Well, it's possible. Maybe. Well, I don't know. When was the last time you went to an anthill and gave them an ant vaccine against an ant coronavirus? Like, that would be never, because you just don't care. You probably stepped on the ants or buried over their anthill. So I don't think a really advanced species is going to really think like, oh, worth saving when they see us. It would just be like, ants on this mountain.
I'm doing you a favor.
Yeah, that's right. You have too many ants here. It's invading my picnic.
COVID.
Oh, Cora, I can hardly wait till this is all over and we can have a barbecue.
Oh, I cannot wait. And I will for sure kill those ants who are building little anthills in my backyard.
I know. I saw an ant in my apartment.
What?
I have to
Well,
get ant
it's
trap.
that season. It's the season.
Is that? I don't know. I gotta get on top of that. I'm here all the time. I know I'm like on patrol. I know everything that's happening. Well, anyway, so do UFOs exist? A UFO is an unidentified flying object. And yes, the Pentagon has just admitted that there is something in the air that is flying that is not identified. So, yes, UFOs exist. Laura, I want to see your footage. Hopefully you're going to show your footage next week.
Yes, I will show that footage.
I think it's fascinating.
Oh, it is crazy.
And like Anita's, ants. What is this, a school for ants? Type the movie if you know what it is, because it's one of my favorite movies. I always can watch that. Yes, Mulder and Scully will join the show next week. We'll try to get them as special guests because the truth is out there, right? Oh, gosh. Please be kind to all creatures. Yes, Tom Berry says, thank you. Lara knows exactly where the school for ants is located. in Zooland. In Zoolander. Oh, yes. Okay, and that is How Do You Solve a Problem Like a Cheetah? Now it's time for another special original B-Girls Quarantined original. It's time for our mini Toon Toons.
And that was the B-Girls Mini Toon Toons.
Oh, let us know in the comments if you like our little mini Toon Toons, because we hope to keep them coming and make them wacky and crazy as usual. And maybe this is, The Simpsons all over again.
Yes. And we will never need to get into makeup again.
Oh, would that not be nice?
Would
that not be nice?
That would be.
Everything's cartoonified, yes.
Yes. Now, if music be the food of quarantine, then play on. That's right. Sous returns with some new quarantining tips for us all.
Hello, I'm Sous. I'm 10 years old. This week I made a quarantine playlist. I highly recommend everybody to listen to some beautiful songs in quarantine. Number 1, Good as Hell by Lizzo. I love Lizzo so much. She's such a good artist. I love all her songs. This is a good song for quarantine because if you're not sick with the COVID, you're probably feeling good as hell. I do my hair, toes, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? Feeling good as hell. Number 2, Don't Stop Me Now by Queen. If you know me at all, you know that I love Freddie Mercury. He's so dreamy. This song just makes me want to get up and dance. It has such a good vibe to it. Don't stop me now. I'm having such a good time. I'm having a ball. Don't stop me now. If you want to have a good time, just give me a call. Number 3, I Will Survive by Gloria Gaynor. Now this song just gets me every time. It's a real tearjerker, but also makes me feel so happy and joyful, even if I'm bawling my eyes out. I can never resist dancing to this song. At first I was afraid, I was petrified, kept thinking how I can never live without you by my side. But then I spent so many nights thinking how you did me wrong, and I grew strong. I learned how to get along.
Thank you, Sous. Oh, Conchita, your mic is on mute.
Yes, I agree with all of her picks.
I love
They're
those picks.
amazing.
Oh,
Well,
my God.
I'm a big Lizzo fan.
I know. And of course,
I do my hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? Feeling good as hell. Feeling good as hell.
yes, and of course, you sang the Gloria Gaynor song "I Will Survive" in a landmark B-Girls medley. Space.
Yes,
Space, which was about
absolutely.
aliens and being in space. Oh my God.
Well,
Well,
We
it
were
wasn't
the
really
aliens.
aliens. We were the
We were the aliens.
yeah.
We had the Starship B, heading to seek out and destroy new life or whatever it was.
Classic B girls.
Yes, you know that's one of my favorite medleys. There's so much goodness in that one. And I saw Fernando, my ex from Alpha Centauri, and I had to say, now you're back from outer space. I'm so surprised to find you here with that sad look upon your face, and you just feel like dropping in and just expect me to be free. Anyway.
I was going in for a close up there.
Now we were going a little spotlight. Oh.
Well, thank you so much, Sous. We love your quarantining tips.
Yes, and now the Beagles are going way back in the archive. 1998 was the year of the Great Ice Storm, causing widespread long-term power outages. And we also saw the death of Toronto's 6 separate municipalities into one megacity. And Shania Twain's Come On Over became one of the year's top-selling albums in North America. It was also the first time the B-Girls appeared on Speaker's Corner.
Good evening, and we are the B-Girls. Once again, we're here to give you the regular B-Girls update. I'm your lovely host, Conchita Alvarez, and here is my good friend.
I'm Barbecue.
And my name's Hardcora. We want to do a half-hour much music show called Lysa Drag, and we can show funky videos, something very fantastic.
Lots of RuPaul.
A lot of RuPaul.
Disco.
Some disco, everything.
Anything kitsch.
Forget pop-up video, we're going to be the next thing. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, we are Hans.
The B-Girls. And we're still on. Conchita, we still have another 20 seconds. What are we going to do?
20 seconds.
18.
Finger
17.
puppets. Are you scared?
The chicken dance.
Are you scared?
The chicken dance. The chicken dance.
Simpler times.
Wow, way back when.
I know. RuPaul. Whatever happened to RuPaul? You never hear of RuPaul.
I know. He was such a flash in the pan.
I know.
And
we're still here. But where is RuPaul?
Well, he just became bigger. You know. Barbecue saw the future.
Mm-hmm.
She knows something. She knew something. She had, in that video, the eyes of Laura Mars.
Did she give them back?
I don't know. Maybe it was a surgical operation she had in China. Well, anyway. That was 20 years. Could we have imagined when we went into Speaker's Corner back then, probably drunk, probably after a show at the Bamboo or at the Rivoli, right?
Mm-hmm.
We were down there. We're down. So we're
the only reason we'd go there.
Or the Rack and Whack.
Oh, remember when that man tried to pick you up?
Well, no, Barbecue. He went to Barbecue and va-va-voom.
He thought she was RuPaul.
It was a joint retirement party and a bar mitzvah.
It was so. We did so many.
It was like a young person's
things.
event and an old person's event, and it was like this beautiful Jewish family. And the old man, and you kind of go, are they going to really like a drag act performing there? No, they loved it. And,
of course.
And then the old man goes up to Barbecue because she was the pretty one.
She was the pretty one.
And he went. He touched her on the forearm right here. It went. Va-va-voom. And then I was talking to the old lady. She says, "Oh, just let the old men have their thrill." What did they think? What?
It was a different time. It was a different time because people would touch each other back then.
What?
People would touch each other back then because I went to like a drag thing at Glad Day. And first of all, they start with, we are now on the land. This used to be Byzantium.
Yes, which is all good. That's all good.
You
but
know,
it's new.
before it was
But it's
Byzantium,
new.
which is great. But then they do this whole thing where nobody touch me. I don't want people to touch me. I won't touch you. The only way we should touch each other is if we agree that we will touch each other. And I thought, what the hell is the point? Touch me. Isn't that the point? I don't know. Kids today.
You know what? I'm a little old school. Well, actually, it kind of goes back to like I have a friend who doesn't like to get like a massage at like RMT massage, when with benefits. Oh, I don't like strangers touching me. I kind of go, I kind of like strangers touching me.
I don't want people that know me touch me. I want it to be a stranger I will never see again.
You know what? I think, Latin cultures were very touchy-feely. I mean, the first time you meet someone, oh, hello. Mwah.
Yes.
Mwah. And
Spread that COVID. Mwah, mwah. Yes.
Well, no one's getting pregnant from this. No one, okay, maybe in the age of COVID now we stopped that, but I mean, I don't know.
Kids to.
But you know what? Everyone should do what they feel comfortable, and if you feel you need to caution people, don't touch me, then tell them, don't touch me.
Mm-hmm.
But, I'm okay with it.
The B-girls welcome touching.
Well, I do. You too, Cora?
I do.
Touch me, babe.
Get it where you can get it. I mean, come on.
Panties, what did Samantha say? Touch me, but the panties stay on.
Oh.
She had a song like that. Yeah. Samantha Fox. I know her. She's a good friend.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
We hung out in Bangkok at the Dusatani. She was performing New Year's Eve, and we hung out at brunch. We had brunch.
Wow, she's a lesbian. Did you know that?
Oh yeah, she's there with her partner.
Oh.
A woman? Oh yes.
Oh.
And she went up to the buffet and she goes, "I'll have 2 fried eggs, please." And I looked at her and I went, "Oh, you're Samantha Fox." And she's,
"Oi,
I am."
Thanks, governor.
Yeah, like that. She's so carny. Like she's carny folk.
Wow.
Kind of weird. And then because she was performing that night at the Dusatani, and this was at the Dusatani Hotel, which back in the day, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, was, a nice hotel in Bangkok, which today it's a junk pit. Don't go stay at the Dusatani. Okay. But then she was performing there New Year's Eve, and she asked me a question, and I replied, and I do not suggest you reply this way to any star that you speak to. But she said, "So you're going to go to my show tonight?" And I said, I don't know. I don't suggest. That did not go over well. Do not do that to any famous star.
Especially Samantha Fox.
But it's
who isn't
Bangkok,
even really a famous star.
No. And it's Bangkok New Year's Eve. Like, there's so much more interesting things to go, like to go to DJ station or also, like, I'm going to go to a Samantha Fox concert, at the Dusat. No, I didn't go. Sorry, Samantha. No. Anyway, but I love her. She's still great. Just saying.
All right. Well, okay. Earlier this week, I had a chance to sit down with a Canadian treasure. You might know her from her role as Flo, the morgue attendant from CBC's hit period detective drama, Frankie Drake Mysteries. Or perhaps you've seen her on Global TV's hit show Canada Sings as a mentor. Or perhaps you know her best from her portrayal of Joan the Secretary in Tina Fey's iconic film Mean Girls, for which she is now immortalized as a meme or a meme. Is it called a meme or a meme? Hello, everyone, and welcome to Chatting with Cora. I'm your host, Cora. Now, tonight, I would like to welcome an excitingly diverse, award-winning Canadian artist. She's a singer. She's a writer. She's an actress. She's a producer. She's a cabaret star. And She's a TV star. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sharron Matthews. Sharron, how are you doing? How goes the quarantine?
I'm okay. I tell people when they ask me how I am, I say I'm mostly okay. I think that's the best way to put it, because we're great for like 3 days, and then there's like one full day of existential dread where you're like, will I ever see my family again? Will I ever see humans again? And then I'm like, I hope my good food box gets here, and then it's all back to normal.
Totally. Well, where are you quarantining? Are you at home?
Well, I have a house in Stratford that I usually rent out to the Stratford Festival. So as you can imagine, that is back in my possession. But I have a little teeny apartment in Toronto at the corner of King and Sherbourne, and you know what? It's super cute, and I quite love it.
Now, I want to jump sort of to the beginning. Did you start off as a theater kid? How did you get involved in theater and performance?
Oh, I was in the high school show. I think my sister Gwen. Well, I know my sister Gwen, who at the age of 18 became a secretary at my high school, and then was there for years. So she was there when I went to high school. My sister's 15 years older than me. Okay, whatever the math is, fuck it. But so she was there when I was in high school, and I think she felt like I didn't have any direction, and so she was like, "You should audition for this musical." I'd only done tap dance and stuff like that, and I was like, "I don't know if I'm right for this." And she said, "You should audition," and I got in it. And I just remember feeling for the first time in my life, something I've only felt a couple times, when you're like, oh, this is where I belong. Like, you felt heard, and everyone was other, and other was amazing, and other was celebrated. And no one in theater seemed to, well, in my young theater group, seemed to be posing. They were just also thrilled to have found a group of people. And so I think I was 13, and then I just kept doing the musicals. But we had this really neat thing in Hamilton called New Faces. And I know, were you in it?
Yes. My God.
I was in the first year. That's how ancient I am.
Oh my God. Did you wear the butterfly shirts?
No, because when I did it, we were at Hamilton Place.
Oh, fancy.
And we did huge musicals. Like we did the first year we did The Sound of Music and Fiddler on the Roof and Godspell.
That's amazing. And then you went to theater school?
Then I went to Sheridan College for 3 years. I graduated when I was 20. And then when I was 21, I was in Les Mis.
That was like perfect timing too, because that's when Canadian theater was like the thing. Those big shows. And it was a time when they weren't importing shows.
It was an interesting time when musicals were more about singing, like Phantom, and like they had a singing chorus, and a dancing chorus. But Les Mis was like there was no dancing. It was
just sort of like walked around on a touring platform.
Yeah, on the Revolve. I guess the new version doesn't have a Revolve in it, and all the old school, all the OGs are like this. Well, that's not really Les
Mis. And then you did Showboat.
Yes, I did.
With Hal Prince.
When I was 23.
Okay, so what was he like?
He was literally the nicest man you'll ever meet. He was just, he was even. Like, he wasn't an ass. He never was mean. He got everything done simply by being kind and having done the homework. Hal was all about big pictures. Like, Hal was all about the big pictures, and he was about the very small scenes.
Well, and what's amazing is that you've managed to jump from, like, theater work to film work to TV work.
I have. Every time I have done that, though, I feel like I've had to make... It was like when you were in the chorus when you're younger and you realize that you have to stop to get bigger roles. You have to stop being in the chorus. You kind of have to take a jump and say, I may waiter this year, I may do whatever, but I'm only going to audition for leads, and hopefully I'll get them. But I feel like every time I made a change, I made a definite jump. The only time I didn't was when I got like Mean Girls and Hairspray and Music Man. Those things I was working in theater, and those things just kind of meshed in with the theater. But when I really did start to do things like Frankie, and Cabaret, like I left theater. I did 1 or 2 shows every couple years, but I made a definite, I'm not doing theater anymore. I really believe the universe only listens to you when you make a really strong choice with intent. And I did that. I was like, I'm going to just do cabaret.
Well, and you didn't just do cabaret. You were the cabaret god.
Aw.
Like you in 2017, Girl Crush won Best Cabaret Performance for Broadway World. The next year, you had another show, and Unapologetically Me, Sharon's Cabaret for Kids, and you were nominated not one, not two, but 3 Dora Awards for Best Performance, Best New Play,
and Best Production.
And Best Production.
After working for literally 15 years trying to get the Canada Council and the Ontario Arts Council, the Toronto Arts Council to realize that it was a viable art form to be grant worthy, it was just, I remember, and again, it was at such a terrible week. I remember just going, oh, I guess I'm on the right track. But I'd already kind of phased out of cabaret. And a week later, I got my first week at Just for Laughs. And 2 hours after that, I got Frankie Drake.
And now Frankie, this is what, 3 years strong?
3 years, our 3rd season. Yeah.
That's amazing. Now, I have to circle back a little. You were in Mean Girls.
I was.
Now, the question that everyone wants to know. What was Lindsay Lohan really like?
Well, you know what? She was 17. I'm not speaking out of school at all. I mean, it's ancient history now, but her mother sent her up with a guardian that was 18. Recipe for success right there.
Yeah.
So, she was like any kind of a kid. She was precocious, but that was all off screen. Like as soon as she got on screen, on set, like as soon as she was in front of the camera, she was a pro. But I remember being in the makeup trailer because they always get the same group of people made up at the same time. It was always me, Tina Fey, Amy Poehler if she was there, and Lindsay Lohan.
Oh my God.
And I would not.
I'm dying.
And I would, I have 2 good stories. Okay. Remind me about the lunch table. Okay, so I remember just sitting there, and my makeup person, I would never say a word, and I'd only speak when spoken to, and the makeup lady would be like this. She'd say, "You're fucking smart," because they'd all be doing whatever. And I remember one weekend after Britney Spears had been on SNL.
Okay.
They came into the trailer. Tina came in and said, "Hey, Lindsay," and Tina really tried to lead her in a certain way. And 17-year-old Lindsay Lohan was like, "Oh, Britney Spears, who is she?" Blah, 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 blah. And Tina Fey just went, "You know what, Lindsay? She is a hard-working girl." And Lindsay Lohan just stopped talking. And Tina Fey went, "She's a really hardworking person." And she said, "You just got to be careful what you say, Lindsay, because you never know who's around." And I swear to God, Amy Poehler looked at me and said, "Yes, Sharon, we don't know her. She's Canadian. We don't know what she's saying outside the door. She may be telling the paparazzi." And I was like this. And I literally, the only thing I said was, "Don't throw me under the fucking bus. I just quietly listen to you bitches talk. Do not throw me under the bus." But so on the first day of shooting, we all hung around in our groups, which is hysterical. And I hung out with the nerd girls. I was the queen of the nerds. It was me, and Wide Vagina, and Jan Caruana, and I don't hate you because I like you. I hate you because you like me, or whatever the fuck it was. There were 5 of us that hung around, and so we were sitting at the lunch table, and Tina Fey walked in the room, and she looks around at everybody, and she goes and she just walked down and sat at our table, and said, "Hey, how you guys doing?" And I looked at them, I said, "Be cool, be fucking cool, because you're going to wreck this for all of us if you're not cool." And then Amy Poehler came and sat with us, and on a gas tire when she was there. And we'd all sit at the same table every day and eat lunch.
That's insane. I am...
It was so cool. It was so cool. Like, I remember there were little things like one day I was wearing these new, because that was the day I realized that I could get away with wearing sneakers if you couldn't see my feet. But had these New Balance sneakers on, and we were doing the whole girl on girl violence scene when we were standing and I was holding the burn book. Who knew? The burn book and a baseball bat I was holding. And Tina, we had a thing between scenes, and Tina Fey looked down and she went, "Are those comfortable?" I was like, "Oh, my shoes?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Why in the bleep are you wearing those high heel shoes?" She said, "It never occurred to me that I couldn't." And I said, "Well, I'm not the director, obviously." And the next day she walked in and she had the exact same shoes as me.
Now, what are you doing now? I know you're super active on your blog, and you've been singing online, and you are constantly working on something.
Well, it's funny. I realized when I got in here for a couple weeks, and I was like, if I'm not creating something, I'm going to lose my shit in here.
Yeah.
And that's when I started writing on my blog again. I haven't done that for years. And singing and I bought this microphone from Amazon. And I love it. And I started singing, which was amazing. I'm also working on, I can't say I love TV and stuff. You can't say, but I developed an animated show with 2 other people that got greenlit literally the day before it all went down. And I'm writing scripts for that, which is amazing. 'Cause now I'm screenwriting. And I also have a script that I'm working on or something else for a bigger show that I can't say.
Okay. Sharron Matthews, here are your 11 questions. What's your favorite food?
Pad Thai.
What's your favorite movie?
Bull Durham.
What's your favorite musical group or person?
Someone I love right now is Ray LaMontagne.
What's your favorite podcast?
Is this a podcast?
Not really. But yes.
This one.
Yay! What is one of the best moments of your life?
I did a show with South Africa, and at the end, I was rolling around on the floor doing Bohemian Rhapsody, and I got a standing ovation. And I went to pick up my shoes, and the audience started to scream, "More! More!" And I remember I had my hands in the air with my shoes in either hand, and I went, "Suck this up, Matthews. This is literally the best moment of your life."
Now, what is one of the worst moments of your life?
I guess the day I found out that my marriage was over.
That's pretty bad.
It was pretty fucking terrible. Let me tell you what.
But look at you now. God.
I know.
Fuck that man.
Fuck that shit.
Now, when this quarantine is over, what's the first thing you're going to do?
I'm going to hug everyone I see. I'm going to hug strangers. I'm going to hug people who look like they're a bit stinky. I'm going to hug everyone.
Tell me one thing people don't know about you.
You know what? I'm a bit shy.
If we were to go on a date, what would we do? Where would you take me?
First of all, we go for a little drink at probably a dive bar. And then we go to the Cameron house and listen to some music for a certain, and then it would be during the summer. And so we'd take a long, beautiful, walk, down the Toronto, harborfront and have a conversation. So it would be a musical talking date. That'd be the kind of date.
Have you ever dipped your toes in the lady pond?
I'm trying.
What is your favorite sexual position?
On top, of course.
Well, Sharron Matthews, it has been such a joy chatting with you today. I have learned more about you than I ever thought I could. And I love every minute of it.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It was a delight.
Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon. Love you.
Bye.
And thank you, Sharron Matthews.
Oh, I love her. More
She's
Sharon.
pretty special. She's pretty great.
Can we hug her and have drinks when this is all over?
I would love that. No, she
Sharon,
is such
2023. We're going to the Cameron house.
if it's still open.
Oh, they will have gone completely bankrupt. But the new people there, maybe they'll still have that little Chinese restaurant. Remember there's a little pass-through where you could get Chinese food?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You remember that?
Yes, a long time ago.
Long time ago. This probably doesn't exist because those are the old days.
Wow.
I love her. She was amazing. Great interview, Cora.
Oh, thank you. And you know what? It's easy. With someone like Sharron, there's, it's funny. It's I started reading her bio, and I was like, holy cow, that woman has done so much in such a short, truncated time.
You read biome?
Well, I had my research department read the bio. But thank you very much, Sharron.
Super. Thank you, Sharron. Oh,
Thank you,
we
Sharron.
have to get together. She looks like she loves, I mean, she's got so many interesting stories and she loves life. And I see the comments here. Everyone is just loving
I know.
her.
Let's quickly look. She is hilarious. Laughing with tears coming out of my eyes.
Yes.
Mike Atkinson, love her. Very gay. Her. Love her. Henry B. Higgins, oh, Lorda. Vivian, love that I was gobsmacked over Sharron. Of course, I had to be. I mean, she is legendary. And of course, legends. Feel badly for Lilo and her mom's terrible parenting decisions. Well, you know.
The 18-year-old and all that.
And now she's in Dubai with her Lindsay Lohan club.
Who is Lindsay Lohan in Dubai?
Lindsay, no, she's very big in Dubai right now.
Why is she in Dubai?
She has these clubs.
You can't drink in Dubai, so that's why she's there.
Yeah.
Keeping away from her father. Who won't visit Dubai? Who knows? Who knows? Great interview. I love it. Okay, next, Cora.
All right. Coming up now, Crystal Visions. Crystal Visions is coming up next, and she is one of Toronto's self-proclaimed preeminent Stevie Nicks enthusiasts and performer. She's a vocalist. She's a tambourine player and wearer of shawls. Crystal has rocked audiences in Toronto's hottest performance spaces, including Buddies, Lee's Palace, Cruise and Tangos, and the Gladstone Hotel. All right, I'll do Conchita's intro. Now you're muted. Conchita, you are muted.
I was posting the links, and I'm doing the mute. Because that's what everyone on TV does, and they're even caught out on Bloomberg. But anyway, please put your hands together and give a warm QuaranQueened welcome to Crystal Visions.
By. Just a little notice would have been real fine. I kept my distance 6 feet away. Got to keep this outbreak at bay. Public health called to ask how I feel. Contact tracing if I read between the lines. Someone coughed near me. Now I am at risk. Where's my PPE? Stand back, stand back. In the COVID-19, I cannot be near you. It's not right to be standing in a line. To be standing in a line for the LCBO. Stay home before it's too late. Every one of us must self-isolate. Stay the course, don't lose your nerve, and flatten that curve. But I had to go out, so I put my mask in place. Baby, I was so donned up you could not see my face. Someone coughed near me, but it's okay, 'cause I got my PPE. Stand back, stand back. During COVID-19, I cannot be near you. It's not right to be standing in a line. To be standing in a line for the LC.
Crystal Visions is a vision.
I love Crystal Visions. She is
Yes.
like one of my favorite performers of all time. Anytime we perform with her, it's always a special day. I always look forward to one of the amazing songs she sings. Oh, I'm a huge fan.
You know, and I think I first was introduced to her when we were doing Gowntown years ago. And of course, she won a Gownie, maybe 2 or 3. It was so long ago, but what an incredible talent. And
amazing talent.
Thank you so much, Crystal, for sending us that wonderful song.
And so timely right now in the age of COVID.
Mm-hmm. And there's so many lovely, amazing responses here.
And everyone is loving Crystal Visions.
Loving Crystal Visions. Oh my God. Woohoo. A lot of hearts. A lot of hearts. Applause and some squares. I don't know what the squares mean, but I'm...
What are the squares?
I'm sure
those are... What? Eric? Those are just all applause.
Oh, are they? Oh, okay. Oh, there
yeah,
you go.
I don't know why it's coming up like that. Mm-hmm.
Your vision.
And
then, of course, yay, Crystal Visions.
Oh, amazing, amazing, amazing. Oh, well, you know, it's time to touch base with our favorite friend. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Judith.
She's got her act together and she's doing it right. She's Judith. It's a doozy. Sometimes you hit a certain age and you realize maybe it's all over. I'll drink wine. Wine's my best friend. She's got her act together and she's doing it right. She's Judith.
And of course, that was our new friend and our old friend, Judith.
Yes, Judith. Oh, she's amazing. Yeah, she's always got something going on, and she's going to tell you about it.
For sure. And it's kind of disturbing when she drinks. I don't know.
And it is a little. And there's the glug, glug, glug. Which
glug, glug.
I
don't like those noises. I have
I know.
Weird phobia of glug, 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 glug. That thing. I hate it.
Well, that's Judith, you know. Love her or hate her, she will spend time with you and rope you into and never leave. And yeah, that's the deliciousness of Judith. Okay, leave your comments if you want to see more Judith. But I have to warn you, like it or not, there's a lot more episodes which are queued up and going to be for the next several weeks. So
it doesn't really matter what you think.
But let us know anyway, because maybe there won't be any after the next 4 weeks. But for the next 4 weeks, we have lots of Judith.
A Judith telethon.
Yes. Okay. Cora, next. What's up?
Now, before the end of the show, the Beagers want to leave you with some positive and heartwarming stories.
Perhaps you don't know it, but good news is happening around us all the time right now.
That's right. It's time for Good News Today. Conservationists are celebrating yet another environmental milestone as the last polluting coal-fired power plants in Austria and Sweden closed their doors.
According to statistics from Carbon Tracker, a UK-based think tank, 46% of coal plants in the EU ran at a financial loss in 2017, while in 2019, the price of operating a coal plant was almost 100% higher than the equivalent renewable operations.
Leaving coal behind in exchange for renewables is the right decision, with benefits including improved health, climate protection, and more resilient economies.
New Zealand's Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern has announced that COVID-19 has been eliminated in the country.
The country closed its borders in March, enforced a 2-week quarantine of all arrivals in the country, and brought in a stringent lockdown.
Beaches, waterfronts, and playgrounds were shut down, as were offices and schools. Restaurants were also closed, including for takeaway and delivery. New Zealand's remote location also played in its favor when the virus broke out, experts say.
New Zealand has reported fewer than 1,500 confirmed or probable cases of coronavirus and 19 deaths.
Well, Anderson Cooper is a daddy. That's right, CNN anchorman and son of heiress Gloria Vanderbilt is now a father.
On Monday, I became a father. Never actually said that before out loud, and it still kind of astonishes me. This is Wyatt Cooper. He is 3 days old. He's named after my dad, who died when I was 10 years old. I hope I can be as good a dad as he was. So that's Wyatt Morgan Cooper, my son. He was 7.2 pounds at birth, and he is sweet and soft and healthy, and I am beyond happy. I do wish my mom and my dad and my brother Carter were alive to meet Wyatt, but I like to believe that they can see him. I imagine them all together, arms around each other, smiling and laughing and watching, looking down on us. Happy to know that their love is alive in me and in Wyatt, and that our family continues. As a gay kid, I never thought it would be possible to have a child, and I'm so grateful for all those who paved the way and for the doctors and nurses and everyone involved in my son's birth.
And that was... Wow. Gays and their babies.
News. Oh, man, that was so sweet.
What is this world coming to, Conchita? Gays and babies? What?
What? Maybe the world is getting better despite the COVID-19.
Maybe it is.
You know,
Maybe it is.
Thank you for spending this wonderful time with us. We really enjoyed it. And we love all the wonderful comments.
No, it's been a joy doing this show for you all. It's really given me something to look forward to on a weekly basis. Yeah, I mean, we're in lockdown. Let's be creative.
Yes, please share this episode online with your friends, and we'll be back next Sunday at 8 p.m.
That's right. And, here's a little tip, everyone out there. We mock Twitch. We are streaming on Twitch. But they do not block any music. So in previous episodes, if there's some copywritten music that a performer is using, Twitch don't care. So you can watch our segments on Twitch totally untouched by the Facebooks and the YouTubes.
Thank you, Twitch.
And those 2 viewers on Twitch.
Yes.
Good going, you.
Keep washing your hands.
And stay
safe.
the fuck home.